So here are 3 types of workplace gender biases. All right. They have stereotyping, the gender roles, what gender, roles you should play based on your gender, and sexual harassment. These are some things we'll go into a little bit more. All right. And now, stereotype is when you make a presumption about a person based on their gender. You're looking at, all right, example, you're a woman, you have a short hair and you wear pants, therefore, you're supposed to be aggressive, you must be aggressive. And I mentioned to you before, I'm not a small person. So I have faced that stereotype. So there's a question at the bottom and it says, can you guess what was my first job after graduating from college? So remember I told you the story where I worked at, not an internship at the Bronx Supreme Court. Can anyone guess what was my first job out of college?
What's the first job? You want to make a guess? She actually took the leadership in the courthouse. Oh, one guess that what was the first job?
Come on, guys, you could do it. Just guess, whatever, just think.
Right. Dr. Neva, one of our students actually said that you might be the typist that do the recording in the courtroom, well, during the court proceeding.
Right. Sounds good. I thought about that, but no. That was not it.
Try again.
Anyone else? And then I'll tell you after. One more guess.
Well, maybe you want to give us a clue.
Remember, I am not small.
Security personnel? Really?
Yes, I was a security guard at Crown Plaza Hotel in Manhattan in New York City, and I wore like a business suit. It was a uniform, but it was like all black kind of outfit,
Was your hair short or long, like right now? Was your hair short or long at that time?
My hair was short at that,
Short?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Short at that time.
But it's still a feminine look, right? It's not really a boy cut kind of look.
Yeah, so my hair at that time, a lot of times I'll just pull it back. And the reason being, I was doing overtime and I was extremely tired, and it's just easy, pull your hair back. So 5'7", I have big bones, and someone said, oh, I couldn't find the job that I wanted right away and I wanted to work. They said, why not apply for security? The salary was pretty decent at that time. It was $30,000 US per year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, why can't I could do security. So at that time, I faced some.
Dr. Neva, I am 5'7". You see, I'm 5'7" and I'm not small. I'm 5'7" and I'm not small. I'm probably having the same height like you do.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not small.
Wow.
I look small.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, so I mean, the good part of the job is I met some great movie stars, and you name the individuals, I've met them.
I'm interested to know, who did you meet? Movie stars.
I've met Naomi Campbell. I have met, at the time, he's no longer alive, but George Jefferson so I've met Holyfield. boxer.
boxer?
Yeah, the boxer. I have met Heidi Klum. I have met some of the basketball stars. I've gotten free tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basketball stars.
So I mean, it was cool and it was funny at times because I didn't even know who they were. Like I would, come back to the base and they'll say base is where we all, report to. And they'll say, oh, someone left a card or whatever, and I'll open it. And then there were like free tickets to go watch basketball or to an event. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I give it away. So they'll always, and the reason being though, I was the only female security.
Mm.
So obviously I stood out, and my attitude was always, I will do the best job, and what I use for my, what I've been told is that my smile, I have a nice smile. So to soften that persona, and I'm not telling you this is what you should do, I'm just telling you what I did. I try to smile as much as I can to make people feel a little bit comfortable with who I am. You understand? I remember one student calling me the gentle giant. What do you mean by that? And this is in Saudi, and she was like, oh, because you look, when I see you, she made fun of me, I see this. And then, when I speak with you, it's something else. But I want to tell you a story as a security guard, what happened to me. The manager was not happy that a female was hired. And I didn't know this before I took the job. I was just excited about the job. It's an opportunity for me to get my own apartment, move out. And now I am faced with a manager who didn't like me, but the department had to comply with the New York state law that no matter the occupation, you must have a diverse workforce.
Yes.
So there was go ahead.
Yeah, we understand that. Did the manager do anything to you? Yeah.
The manager, I submitted time off during the Christmas holidays. I submitted in October. He denied it. Then in November, someone else, another guy, security officer, put it in, he accepted. So I was upset and I confront him, and he said to me, well, you're single, you don't have a family, so you don't need the time.
Oh, that was his excuse? You don't need a holiday because you're single? Okay, so
Yes.
what did you say?
I'm single, and I just stood there like, and then I have him on, because they record the base, and sometimes I review the tape. There was a discussion where he's saying, well, she wants to be a security guard. She's a woman. She wants to be, let her really feel what's a security guard supposed to be like.
It's some sort of like a retaliation because you said you wanted to be a security guard.
Yes.
Yes.
So obviously that's discrimination, but at the time he's with the company for 20 odd years. At that time when that happened, I was with a little over a year. My word against his.
Sorry, that was back in which year? Did you remember? Which year was that? That was
some would tell my age, but that's okay. It's in the 1990s. No, but this
years.
Yeah, sure. It's in the 1990s.
1990s, yeah.
Yes, that this happened, and I was just, and could I pursue the case? I could have, but was it worth it at the time? I was a little bit scared. I didn't want to lose my job either, and so I just sucked it up and I continued working. But, if I could change back time, would I have done something about it? Yes, because I had the proof, you know? So, you know, because I'm a woman, I can handle this. It's, you know, stereotype. Because I dress like this, I appear like this. And those are the things that I've faced, you know? And I'm sure, you know, the students, you're gonna face different things and it's gonna hit you and you don't know how to react when it happens, you know? So I wanna show a little video at this time. I hope it can be played. And, you know, so you could see the thought process behind gender and how individuals, you know, think about gender.
So what do you think?
Dr. Neva, I think the video isn't working. Like
It's not?
yeah.
Can you?
Perhaps you want to, I don't know, you want to replay, stop it and replay?
Okay, because it's playing on my end, so.
Yeah.
But there's no sound. We can't hear any sound.
There's no sound. Oh, wow, okay.
No sound.
All right, I'm not sure how I can. I'll try to play it again, but if not, we're gonna have to go over it. And I apologize, but I'll.
Is it from YouTube, which you embedded into your slides?
Yeah.
If you play directly from YouTube, probably I think the other day when we did the test, it was a direct YouTube. You clicked on the YouTube link, right?
Yeah, but I just wanted to move a little quicker versus going
Okay.
back and forth from YouTube today.
Okay.
So I didn't do that. Oh, well, what I'll probably do, because I do have another exercise to do, so I'll see if I can find the YouTube video during that time. Okay? So we'll skip over this for a second and we'll come back if I can. So the other is a gender role and a set of societal norms dictating what types of behaviors are generally considered acceptable, appropriate, desirable for a person of a certain gender. And something I want to talk about that I've also seen being in the administrative role. There's a couple, spouse, and they work together. However, they got different pay, the same title. They were both PhD holders. So let me tell you what happened. They both applied internet. They're from the group that I'm talking about, the couple, they're from Canada. They both applied to an international university. And they both got accepted, the same degree field, because that's how they met. They were in the same program, they fell in love, they got married. The husband received a package that would be equivalent, and I'm going to put it in US, the equivalent of $70,000 US. The wife was accepted at $35,000 US.
Huge difference.
Yes, and they had their couple at the time, they had 2 young children. So the husband was excited. He said, okay, you know, he didn't want to go by himself. So he begged his wife to accept. But what do you think happens while they're there at working together? Would you be happy with that amount when you know you're just as qualified as your husband? Guys?
Of course, not happy.
Yeah, you'll be so, you know, so she worked, she did her best. And I mean, the students loved her. But this was just unfair practice. Now you're coming from a society like Canada that doesn't really accept such discrimination. gender discrimination. And the thought process is, well, he's a man, he's supposed to support her. So, you know, for them, it's like an added bonus. But for her, she's qualified. So she worked there for 2 years. And then after that, she resigned and found another university that paid her even more than her husband.
Because she's what?
Because she's qualified. Yes. And then the university, to be spiteful to the husband, he had a nice, you know, flat and everything that they lived in, 3 bedrooms. They reduced him to a 1 bedroom because it says your wife don't work with us anymore.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so in situations like this, how do you go around it? I mean, at the point she was just like, she's had enough. She continued with the new job and they continue, but obviously the university, being smart, would look at, you know what, if we give the wife more money, we can retain her, we can keep her. But they don't see things like that, because based on their culture or their belief, he's a man, he's supposed to support her. And this unfair practice has cost the university quite a lot. But at this point, I don't think they, you know, see it. They have hired individuals with very good qualifications at less, and they'll accept, and then they leave because they could get better in other places. And there's a video again, and we can't look at it. But at this point, there's some paper that I gave you. The first one has just list of jobs, right? On it. What I want in groups, I want you to tell me what % of males do you think occupy those jobs? What % of females you think occupy those jobs?
Okay, people, you have the list with you. Look at the list and look through the different types of job. Identify which type of job that are listed there will be the male dominant job. Is it? Which one is female dominant or which one is male dominant job? Okay.
Are you guys ready, or do you need some more time? How are we doing?
They're working on the list. Yeah. The only page 1 that you wanted to do, the listing of the job, you wanted to identify whether that job is a male or female dominant job, right?
Yes.
Page 1, yeah. Only page 1, or you want them to look at the rest of the pages? Was it only page 1 that you want them to look through?
I believe is it 2 pages with the list, or is it 1?
Guys, is it 1 page or 2 pages? 1 page. 1 page.
Okay, so yeah, 1 page. This is yeah. What male, female, what percentage? So
how should we give you the feedback?
okay, so how I would like for you to give me the feedback is you don't have to take all the paper, but look at them to kind of identify, you know, the list as far as tell me how much percentage, because I think if everyone speaks is going to be too much. More than 1 group though.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
So this is where we could do it. You could pick maybe 3 groups that you feel fit and look at those 3 and see if their numbers are correct. I mean, not correct, but if they match with the certain percentage. Is it male dominated, female dominated?
Tell you the majority of the jobs listed there are maybe male dominant jobs or female dominant jobs. Is that what you want me to tell you? Is that what you want me to tell you?
I see what y'all did. Okay. What I wanted initially, but it's okay, I will go with that. But what I wanted initially, you look at the job title. If it says engineer, is that a male dominant profession or a female dominant position?
Should I do that and tell you one by one the name list, the job list? I mean, should I do that? Read it out one by one for you?
Okay. Now I know there's
one by one for you. You want me to read out the job one by one for you?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me just get 3 groups. Yeah.
Yes.
Another 2 groups. Give it to me. Okay, guys, you might want to listen and compare with your own list, yeah? Let's do it together. Right.
Okay.
The first one, construction worker. So I have all the 3 groups here written there, men, male dominant industry.
Okay.
Okay, flight attendant, both. Flight attendant, both gender.
Flight attendant, both. Okay.
Social worker, female. Female. Secretary, female. Elementary teacher.
Elementary.
Elementary teacher, female.
Okay.
Hairstylist, let me see. Hairstylist, well, we have diverse opinion. Some say male, some say female, some say both.
Okay.
Model, female. Store clerk, store clerk. Let's see. Both.
Okay.
The vet will be for both.
Okay.
Physical education teacher, both. Cook, you mean a chef, right? Both. Photographer, both gender. Nurse, female. Computer analyst, male. Computer analyst, male. Machinist, male.
Okay.
Dental assistant, female. Artist, both. News reporter, let's see, both. Telephone operator, both. NASA technician, male. Cat specialist, male. Pharmacist, female, they put. Babysitter, pharmacist, female. Babysitter, female.
And one more.
Sorry?
Just one more, the last one.
Oh, the last one. Okay. Newspaper editor. Newspaper editor. Male.
Male. All right. Now, I wanted to do this exercise to see the mind frame of where, the students are. And yes, worldwide, I mean, they're pretty good, but there's some that they said are both, but it depends on the industry. They may say, country, they'll say no. So for instance, hairstyle, they said both, but if you travel to a certain country, it's just female,
Yes.
right? For the most part. So based on what they said, this is very similar in the US or the Western world, but there are a few in the Eastern or, you know, part of the world, it might be different. But these are some things you should think about. I mean, I don't think, you know, like nurse, you say female, but there could be a male that's very great at what he does, and there, you know, some employers will discriminate because he's not a woman and won't hire him either. You understand? Feeling as if because he's a nurse and a female, he should be a doctor, not a nurse. And unfortunately, this is also showing where someone's talent and qualifications could hinder them because of their gender, right? So thank you guys for doing that exercise. Really appreciate it.